On April 13th, 2004, a convoy left the Baghdad International Airport heading up Route Irish by Camp Liberty. The convoy was headed to the Green Zone, and it carried a variety of soldiers, supplies, stuff like that. This wasn't a heavy infantry convoy. This was machinists, mechanics, truck drivers, mainly support soldiers. You see, that's the thing about being deployed to Iraq, is that your job is not ever what they say it is. It's what they want you to do. You don't have any of us anymore. During the convoy, a Humvee was struck by an IED that was absolutely toast. Inside that Humvee was First Lieutenant Melissa Stockwell, a 24-year-old graduate from the University of Colorado. She had just completed Transportation Officer Basic Course Training in Virginia, and then was assigned to the 1st Cavalry Division out of Fort Hood. My unit. She hadn't been in Iraq but maybe a month. She come from Grand Haven, Michigan, and she always had an itch to be in the military. She was a member of the ROTC in college, starting her sophomore year. The IED that shot her that Humvee, it took her left leg. And for a lot of veterans, for a lot of people, an injury like that would completely debilitate them. Not just physically, but mentally. Lieutenant Stockwell has a great story, and she obviously survived, and we're going to tell you some of that story today, but there's a lot more to hear. Part of the story that people need to know about, like the E5 that saved your life, Sergeant Alex Pavich. I worked with both of these people when I was in the military. Sergeant Pavich was actually one of my squad leaders in 2nd Platoon, 27th Main Support Battalion, Division Support Command, 1st Cavalry Division, out of Fort Hood. But Iraq was different, man. You see a lot of military veterans, they quip and they bicker back and forth about jobs and what they did. I was an operator, I was a POG, whatever it was. But for most deployed, when you actually deployed, it didn't matter. Once you hit the sandbox, we're in Afghanistan. You did whatever they needed you to do. Could have been kicking doors, it could have been convoy support, it could have been gate guard, Haji watch, mechanics, headquarters, whatever. Didn't matter, because when you went where you were told to go and you did what you were told to do. If you didn't, you got hurt. That's what's so interesting about the Stockwell story. The man that saved your life was a machinist, not a combat medic, not a doctor. He was a combat lifesaver certified E5 machinist. But that's what we did. Whatever it took to save a life, whatever it took to help out the person standing next to us. Now we can watch movies that dramatize Iraq and Afghanistan, but the truth is none of us are ever the same after that. It doesn't matter how many movies they make or how many of these types of videos are made trying to explain the story. It's impossible to understand. You can be so much more than a disabled veteran. You're not some broken person. But to most Americans, we're just here. We're just leeches of the system. Lieutenant Stockwell just happened to be the first female soldier to lose a limb in the Iraq War. For the time she spent in Iraq, she was awarded the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. And shortly thereafter, she retired and has gone on to achieve some pretty amazing things that even normal everyday Americans could only dream of. She's inspired hundreds of thousands of people across the country, not just veterans, but everyday Americans, to just try and do better. About 4 years after her injury, she became the first Iraq War veteran to make the Paralympic Games. She competed in swimming in 2008 over in Beijing, and she was actually the flag bearer for Team USA at the ceremonies. Right after that, she started to compete in triathlons. She competed in the Paralympic Games in 2016, where she won a bronze medal, and also again in 2021. See, she's working towards getting prepared for Paris this summer. I've seen some of her videos. I can't wait to see her compete. Her and her husband created an amazing organization called Dare to Try Para-Triathlon Club. It's an organization based out of Chicago designed to help people with various injuries, and they want to participate in sport, but may not have the physical ability, but aren't scared to try to push themselves. And that's exactly what the LT did. She took obstacles, she turned it into triumph. You can check out the links in my comments below to see some of the work that she does and her story below. But why is this important? Why am I giving you this video? Why am I doing this content? Because nearly 1/3 of all veterans have some form of disability. And I'm not talking about some imaginary bullshit disability to the civilian world, or some simple disability like hearing loss or something like that. I'm talking about straight combat-related, service-connected, reported and documented disability. That's over 3.5 million veterans. There are almost 40,000 homeless veterans, roughly 242,000 unemployed veterans, and around 60% of those are in my age group. It matters because the government is not coming to help us, and neither is the Army. But when we look at people like Lt Stockwell and Sergeant Pavich, we can see that there's so much more we can accomplish as veterans if we just try. We stop depending on the system as they were coming for us. We link up with programs to help us get the benefits we deserve. Lt Stockwell is a guiding light, a figure with which the veteran community should be learning more about and proud about. And there's thousands of veterans just like her that we should know about in the social media space, in the sports space, just in general. There's too much talent in the veteran community, and there's too much opportunity to have that many people struggling. Lt Stockwell and other veterans like her show all of us in the veteran community that there's nothing that we can't accomplish if we just stay focused on the task at hand. Work together. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please share it, like it, and subscribe to the page and leave a comment. If you know a veteran that needs a story told or was an unspoken hero, send it over to me. I'd like to look into them. I'd like to do more videos like this. So I appreciate y'all. Take care.